Welcome to A Quest for Metal. Today we are ranking Edge of Sanity's albums from my least favourite to my favourite. Edge of Sanity, one of the most underrated melodic death metal bands of all time. I was going to say Swan Dano. Dan Swano, the mastermind behind it. He's in most of the albums and they're all fucking fantastic. I don't think there's a bad one, but I do think there are weaker ones. I do think there are definitely weaker ones in this discography, and of course we'll get to them in a minute, but before I start rambling, let me know down below what's your favourite Edge of Sanity album, what's your least favourite, and let's get stuck into this spicy sausage. So coming in last is Cryptic. Now Cryptic has an amazing artwork. I love the shade of green on this. I don't know why, I just love it. I love it, but the music held within is just pretty good. I don't think this is a bad album, but it's not as masterful as some of the others. Now, maybe that's because Dan isn't on the vocals on this one. There is someone else on vocals, and it's okay. You know, it's fine. The vocals are fine, but the atmosphere is weird. It doesn't feel like an Edge of Sanity album. That's my problem with it. It feels like it doesn't sound like melodic death. It sounds like death and roll. And don't get me wrong, Death and Roll's fun. So, you know, some Entombed albums are fucking fun. Wolverine Blues. Amazing. This one's good, but with Edge of Sanity, I don't want death and roll. I want melodic death, or straight up death like the first two. But yeah, this one just feels weird in the discography. It just feels out of place, and that's why it's last. I don't go back to this one a lot. But when I do, I have fun with it because the songs are fun. Yeah, Cryptic never really did anything for me. It still really doesn't. But again, it's not bad. So Cryptic is coming in last. Second to last is Infernal. A lot of people love this one. I think it's pretty good, but I don't think it's amazing. A lot of people love this one. I think it's pretty good. I don't get the super hype for it like a lot of people give it. Again, amazing artwork. But it is a step up from Cryptic. I think it's way better than Cryptic. Some of these songs, you know, it actually sounds like, you know, proper melodic death metal. These songs are intense, they're catchy. Hell Is Where the Heart Is being a fucking fantastic song. Great opener to the album. Helter Skelter's fun as well. But yeah, this is a great album, but it just doesn't grab my attention as much as the others again. But it doesn't sound death and roll, and it is with Dan. So it's gotta go higher than Cryptic. I do think it's a better album. Come on, it's a better album, but it's not even fucking close to the others, so let's move on. Coming in next is Nothing But Death Remains. This is the debut. This isn't even really melodic death, this is like proper death metal. Sounds kind of like Bolt Thrower on some of these songs. You know, it has... Alright, here's the negative for this one. It has kind of shitty production, the mastering's kind of fucking all over the place, it sounds loud at times, quiet at times, but the songs kick ass. Yeah, the songs held within are amazing. You know, so if they fucking remastered this one, you know, go way higher. Some of these songs are fantastic. Human Aberration, Decapitated by the Cross. I mean, how good is that song title? Decapitated by the Cross, that's fucking amazing. Impulsive Necroplasm, like, how does he come up with this shit? Great old school death metal on this one, chunky riffs, great fucking vocals, very different to the later stuff, very different to the newer stuff. You know, definitely not death and roll on this one, this is pure fucking death, and I love it, but I just wish the mastering and like the sound of it was a bit better, but still love it, so, you know, it's coming in here. Next up is Unorthodox. This is when they kind of started to go a bit mellow death started. I mean, it has one of the first clean vocals in death metal on this fucking album, and it's masterful. This is, you know, it's the breadcrumbs, it's leading to what they will become on later albums. I don't think it's quite as good as the later albums, even though the band cites this as the best work. I don't really agree, but that's why opinions are out there. You know, people have different opinions. I don't think it's as good as some of the others, but I do think it's a great fucking album. And I think it's a massive step up from the ones I've talked about. So, Unorthodox, so many good songs. The Unorthodox, Enigma, Everlasting, I mean, so many good ones. I mean, there is about 14 songs on here, so it's quite packed. You get quite a lot of songs for your money with this release. Unorthodox is good, but it could be better. Let's move on. The Spectral Sorrows is next. The artwork for this is the best they've done. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking amazing. I think Dan Seagrave did this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the artwork blows my fucking mind. And the music held within, even better. Massive step up, I think, from Unorthodox. That was great already. This is better. This is goddamn better. This is when they went full on proggy mellow death. So those were kind of like a bit experimental, deathy. This is like, we're mellow death masters. We're fucking kicking this up to 11. There's nothing you can do about it. Songs like Dark Day, Living Hell, Lost, Blood of My Enemies. There's a lot of fantastic songs held within. Great melodies. A lot more emphasis on the kind of clean stuff. A lot more, well, I said it before, a lot more melody in this release than there was in Unorthodox and Nothing But Death Remains. And I love it for that. It's not cheesy. They didn't lose anything by going this way. They actually improved on themselves. Some bands kind of lose the way when they change direction, like some mellow death bands. Yeah, these guys didn't. They stayed true. They just made the sound better, more iconic, and this is the Edge of Sanity I know and love, so this is coming in here. So next up is Crimson 2, the sequel to Crimson. People shit on this one. It's not as good as Crimson 1. I agree with you, it's not, but it's still fucking fantastic. I'm glad they ended on this. This is the last album they did. I'm glad they ended on this and not on, like, Infernal or Cryptic. Because this is the best send-off. This is one of my favourite albums they've done. Every song's fucking killer. I mean, it's the follow-up to one of the best albums. And I think it almost beats it. It's so fucking close to beating Crimson 1, but Crimson 1 has fucking Mikel on, so come on. I'm not putting it over that. This is just a fucking great send-off, though. So glad, they ended on this. It's got great production, it's got great melodies, great hooks, great songs. Dan's back after Cryptic. Dan's fucking back. This is everything I want and more. It's kind of like Those Once Loyal by Bolt Thrower. Beautiful send-off. And it's going here because I love it so much. So number 2, my second favourite Edge of Sanity album is Crimson. Bet you thought it'd be number 1, because I have a hard on for Mikel. It's not. This is a better album, but this one is a fucking masterpiece. One song album. It's 40 minutes long. It's one fucking song. This is like the Dope Smoker, Winter's Gate kind of album from Edge of Sanity, and it kind of broke them into the mainstream. Again, like I said, Mikel's on this, doing backing vocals. Dan's on this, doing his amazing growls. Everything about this album is fantastic. If you love long, great concept albums, you have to give Crimson a fucking listen. You have to give it some love. The melodies are out of this world. The melodies are fucking sublime. The singing, the screaming, the passages, the whole journey. It's a mellow death journey around the world, and you will love it. Crimson, probably the most popular one, probably most people's favourites, but for me, it is number 2. Number 1 is Purgatory Afterglow. This is easily my favourite, and as soon as I heard it after Crimson. Crimson was the first one I heard, and I was like, this is a masterpiece, nothing's going to beat this. Then I heard Purgatory Afterglow, and I was like, you know what? That just fucking beat it. It's darker, it's more catchy, I think. It's not all just one song, so I can pick out different songs in it, which I do prefer over one-song albums, if I'm being honest. But Crimson's a fucking masterpiece. But yeah, some of these songs, like Elegy, is fucking amazing. Black Tears of Darksome Origin. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? This is a dark album. This is a kind of like Dante's Inferno by Ice Stuff. It's that kind of feeling of an album. Heavy, dark, dripping with ooze and melody. I love this album, and it's probably a spoiler because if you watch my top 20 or top 10 mellow death albums of all time, this is on it. So you should have known this will be number 1. And it is my favourite Edge of Sanity album of all time. So what did you think of my list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down below what's your favourite Edge of Sanity album of all time. And we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.